Good day everyone and welcome back. In today's video we are looking at a recon. Of course, this is our training set that we are working on, and I have already pre-selected the tables that I will be working on. And for this session we are going to be looking at trade and other receivables as well as cash and cash equivalents. Now what do we see here? Why do we call it a recon table? So very important, a recon table reconciles back to what is in your trial balance. You can of course override this number if you know that your numbers don't tie back to what is in your trial balance. But important that that is the function of a recon table, and you keep this in mind. Now how do we do this? So what do we see in front of us? So if we look in front of us, we can see that we have two columns which are very important, and that is the date 2025 and 2024. Now these are dynamic and they pull through from the report parameters that we have selected for this set. You can see if we move our mouse down to the bottom that we are reconciling 2025 back to 152,891,000, and we are going to reconcile 2024 back to 162,949. So of course, like the simple text table, functionality remains the same, and that refers to the dustbin that will delete rows for you, the plus button that will add in a table below for you. What we do have as an extra over here is a plus button that not only adds in a row, but also adds in subtotal rows as well as a subtotal row non-calculated. We are going to have a look at this in a moment. For now, how do we make sure that we are reconciling back to cash and cash equivalents? Trade and other receivables. This is from your roll-ups. You will be familiar with your roll-ups, and that is the structure and framework for your financial statements. If you click onto the date, you will see that the roll-up that I have selected is trade and other receivables. If I click into the cell, you will see the roll-ups that are available for me. I have already pre-selected this. If I click into the cell of the actual column, you will notice import values from GLs. Now this is very important because when you roll your set forward, it will then roll these values for you, and it will retain and bring in 2026 numbers that are mapped to this roll-up called trade and other receivables. So if I click on import values from GL, what do we see left to right? We see that this is what makes up our roll-up. You will be familiar with level 1, 2, and 3. And if we scroll all the way to the right-hand side, you can see over here what I have ticked in. So for that particular row, I have ticked in trade and other receivables, and you can see that it is the others are not available to me because I have ticked them in somewhere else. And that is deposits paid. I have selected deposits paid and deposits paid. Okay. Using the same logic, we're going to move to 2024, and now I'm going to show you how we do that. So I'm going to click into trade and other receivables, import values from GL. I'm going to move all the way to the right, and I'm going to filter for trade receivables, and I'm going to select these for myself. You can see over here that it tells me exactly what I have selected, the amount, and I'm going to click accept. I'm going to select cell deposits paid. Under GL name, contains deposits paid, filter. I can also use the select all. button and it will select all of them for me. And now you can see that I'm still left with 177. Import values from GL. I happen to see that there was some reference to prepayments. And if we have a look at the GLs that are left, we can see prepaid expenses. You can select them individually or select all and click on accept. Right, so now what we can see is that this table has been reconciled. So, as I mentioned, all other options for formatting are exactly as a simple text table. So click on edit and you will see that from our previous video. What I do want to show you over here, very important, is this add subtotal row calculated. I'm going to put in here sub trade receivables. You would have noted that when I added this row, it added a row for me, but very important, it added a little gear for me, and this is my formula gear. So I'm going to click on to my formula gear and I'm going to select trade receivables, deposits, and sundry receivables because that's what I want to be part of this sub formula. And there we go. There you can see I have an amount and it doesn't impact the recon that I'm busy with at the bottom. Always ensure that you click on submit to retain the information that you have. Submit and next will take you to the next table that you are busy with. Please join us for our next video where we look at recon matrix tables.